Hi. After way too long, Amber Tier is going down! Executing an entire color may seem overly dramatic, but at the same time, there's not a lot of wiggle room for criticism if something doesn't exist anymore. So yes, we are getting straight into the electric chair with Heinz getting his computer hacked. Originally, this entry was Plasma Pulse 2, which is a level that wastes exactly 23,416 objects being Plasma Pulse 2. Cyber Chaos, on the other hand, is a great level from the very much loved Heinz. Sounds good on paper, but Cyber Chaos is set in the digital age, so it's questionable if this approach to gameplay would work. Thankfully, Heinz has wizard powers, which led him to being overconfident and not downloading an antivirus. Dude, just don't get your computer hacked, it's so easy. Just put it. Cyber Chaos has a bunch of skill-based sections, which makes it a solid brick wall pick for the GDDP. Just for the concept of locking Plasma Pulse 2 out of the Cool Kids Club, this level gets my seal of approval. Well, let's jump from a computer virus to an actual virus. Or am I thinking of HPV? Either way, DVP will make sure death is more imminent than it was before the unfortunate encounter with the abbreviation for Devil Vortex porn. Artsy Fartsy level over here has some of the wackest looking parts in any level I've ever encountered on my way to becoming the GDDP review master of the world. Like, look at some of the structuring in this part. What is happening? What is this even supposed to mean? Doesn't all art have a secret meaning behind it? Either way, the gameplay is not my thing. The guy in the song is at least having fun though, which you can tell by the alcoholic beverages that are present in this very part. God, this guy fucking sucks at bottle flipping, man. Just try it once more, you'll get there. Either way, this level gets my seal of approval because I don't know any other level that covers the annoying student film skill set. Sleepy nap time while seeing during the day. What is this, a Wavix video? Wow, real low-hanging fruit there. Either way, everybody, welcome to the show, a wave challenge with no interesting parts and skippable everything. This shit is so boring to talk about. There is nothing here, even though the level looks kinda cool. Like, what do I say about this? Optic Daydream might be optic, might be daydream, but it brings me nightmares and hemorrhoids. I give this level my seal of removal for being a pile of shit, and I would replace it with a far better rainbow-themed level. I love Deep Swim because I have turned into a fish and will now only accept blub blub in my comment section. On top of that, if you are a fish, subscribe to the channel. Helps out the coal miners in Vietnam. More fish, please. Yulon, or Elon Musk, is what you get when you flush the toilet while shitting. This series is now so deep that poop jokes became funny. What even is life anymore, my guy? Either way, we have a banger level here. The retro yet modern feeling Blockfest is an aesthetic I thought would never be mastered, especially when there's another level in this batch that tries it and doesn't succeed. This one does though. Even though there are many small problems that layer the wacky gameplay, for the things Yulon tries, Yulon succeeds at it fairly well. Yulon does sound like a racial slur used in the Stone Age, but those ancient fucks are dead anyway, so who cares? I give this level the generous honor of a seal of approval. For now, we exit Ooga Booga times and enter into the art of Incest Kingdom, or Insect Kingdom. How do you pronounce that word? Beetle is an insect found in most climates and environments. They can vary in size, power, and color. In that way, beetles are oddly similar to firearms. Thankfully, unlike their fiery counterparts, they don't have to reload before assassinating Abraham Lincoln. Another point to the Critter Club. This design level, crafted by talent all around the world, do the legacy of the Incest Kingdom justice. I've heard generally favorable opinions on the Bug Party, though I would assume that the ants in my backyard would have something else to say about that. So please ask them before forming your own opinion, please. I will be offering this insect my seal of approval, partly due to my intense fear of armored winged beasts. Speaking of firearms, I never watched Star Wars, but I assume that Luke Jarvis Walker beats Darth Yoda with his light blaster. If so, this level might make some sense in the direct approaching path of pathetic space nerds. Putting all biases aside, there is not a lot of good gameplay present in this Star Space pistol design. I tried to beat this way back when my integrity was as intact as your virginity, but that didn't go too well. Turns out that I hate how this level works. Though admittedly the decoration looks kinda cool, this doesn't excuse the sheer tobacco injection that the hands get to enjoy while your eyes are at the beach eating pie. Through the sheer lack of gameplay quality, this pew machine earns itself a seal of removal Though I admittedly can't think of a good replacement for it, Blaster is a level that I mildly dislike due to its playability, taking a backseat to fan service. I fucking hate the Star Wars community! A wise man once said, every concept can be made fun, as long as you try your hardest. Yeah, and every flightless bird can fly if you throw them hard enough. While you watch for flying penguins, I'm not taking any chunkla. So I'll quickly clip every single block inside of this random Geometry Dash level I found at the back seats of the sewers in Paris. Together with mice constantly jacking off to the sounds of the French version of Misfire, Chunkla is the worst thing about being down bad. It's trying a concept that just inherently won't make for an enjoyable level, at least in my humble opinion, which this series is entirely based off of. Though it executes the concept very well, recommending Chunkla to any self-sufficient person is a risk that I'm not sure is worth taking. I will be granting Chunkla my seal of removal for being a level that does not properly fit into the GDDP. My replacement for this is Veil, which is also very gimmicky and very much not possible in 2.2. But if it gets fixed, then maybe I can recommend it for the GDDP, right guys? In a way, this trains a specific skill set a lot better than Chunkla does. Being like this type of ball gameplay, I don't know how to describe it, because it's weird, wacky, it's based on follow triggers, like, it's wild. But I think it trains the skill set that Chunkla's trying to train in a very different way that I like a lot more. That's why I'm recommending it. Flow level. There are so many different options for flow levels, so you pick this one of all of them. Besides the anime-ass sounding name that's mixed with a Smash Bros. Top tier, there aren't a lot of standout things in Elysian Ages. I also don't know how to pronounce this level's name, by the way, don't worry. I just rewatched the level, and I already can't tell you a single aspect of it. That does not mean I will be giving it a seal of removal for that, because, to be honest, there aren't a lot of playable flow levels in this difficulty range. I would just straight up suggest you skip this difficulty range in terms of flow levels. Just go play some entry extremes instead. This will be getting my seal of approval, but mostly out of pity, believe me. This level is absolute dog shit. Ow! Putting outer space aside, Galaxy Breaker has like -1 good parts. This level sucks absolute ass. I don't know why it's in the GDDP other than to trigger me. This disgrace to the Laser Blitz legacy is only here because it sucks major ass, which is partly understandable, to be honest. I would still say that there are other levels like the Deathless that suck more ass though, so I'm confused why this level is on here instead of that. Plus, with this level having some of the skill sets of all time, you could also just play any bad high and insane demon to get wave and choke points. Like, come on, man. I would give this my seal of removal and replace it with literally anything else, like the Deathless, Super Strike, Pursuit, Two-Faced Agony, Golden Shade, Golden Shine, Dark Rainbow Rebirth. Like, come on. Awful inclusion. You are not getting any cookies after dinner. Okay, so this one kinda had to be here, didn't it? This is a terrible level, but oddly fitting for the GDDP, since almost every single extreme shares major design elements with the freezing CO2 level. Having the blueprint of basically all difficult ship gameplay in the game inside of the GDDP is almost a requirement, so for that I'm not going to make this one a bit of a tangent, despite me having a lot to say on how unplayable this shit is. ICDX gets my seal of approval, because if this wasn't in the GDDP, I'd call 911. You can now sleep at night knowing for sure your neighbor got poisoned by a 17-year-old girl with a victim complex. Don't worry. This is the ship level of all time, having the file ship part at 40 and this one at 70 being the showrunner's biggest nightmares, man. Like, oh my god. Don't bring this level to show and tell either, because everybody does. For fuck's sake. Let's just go on to the next one before I lose my mind. Mothmelons? Yeah, I sure hope they do. Wait, does that mean flies are fruit now? Fruit fly Lorocyte. This very colorful void is an amazing pick for the GDDP, due to the nature of the level. You see, it's actually good! An oddly rare sign for the GDDP in the timeline as of recent times. Vibes only here, fellas. This gimmicky color fest has some of the wackest gameplay in the entire GDDP. I suspect this is because of the Teletubbies deciding to turn the frogs gay, which no one seemed to report on in North Korea. Either way, this level is getting a very well-deserved seal of approval. We all stand levels that combine mediocre fruit and cloth-destroying wing havers, after all. Yes, I just called Melons mid. Fight me about it. It is, in fact. The end is the final level from famed furry Xylonox, which really shows in the presentation. Having the best decoration your eyes will ever fucking see in your entire life, this level slaps. Gameplay-wise, I have no fucking clue if it is piss toast on a muddy road or if it's bad to play. You tell me. This level is telling a story. What the story is about is still up for grabs though. So if you are horny, you know where to look. Besides the crazy impressive looking everything, this is a brutally difficult take on the demon difficulty. The insanely long girth that the end presents, combined with the insanity that this dual part at the end, makes this one of the hardest levels on the GDDP so far, maybe even the absolute hardest. Though the challenge can be quite tough, I will still be giving this level my seal of approval, because it is the perfect way to end the first half of the GDDP. Even if the level runs at like -10 FPS. We don't care about that. The level looks cool. Okay, so this is maybe a bit of a weird statement to make, but besides the generally positive ratings, I still consider this to be easily the worst GDDP tier. This entire tier suffers from being in a weird place in terms of difficulty in comparison to a lot of the other tiers. To me, beating this entire tier is completely pointless, which is something I would not say about a lot of the other tiers. Not even the very, very high ranking ones. High-end insane demons are just not that great to play usually, and so if you watch this series, not for the goofs and the reverb fart sound effect spam, and actually watch it to see what levels they're playing the GDDP, I would suggest skipping most, if not all, of this tier. It is fundamentally flawed. Insane demons don't need 2 tiers. You can do with just the one. I get having 15 extreme demon tiers, that's fine. The extreme demon section is just such a wide span of difficulty, but high-end insane demons are basically just underrated extreme demons, and the low-end insane demons are overrated hard demons. So you could just use you could use anything else to cover this part of difficulty, man. I don't get why it's here. Like, there is plenty of good higher-end insane demons, don't get me wrong, there are. But overall, to improve at the game, I would just suggest skipping the high-end insane demon range. And most people actually do, because guess what? You don't need to beat these. You can beat them later on, you can beat them maybe even when you're doing the lower-end insane demons, you could just beat 1 or 2 and then just jump over to extremes, please, for the love of God. Just merge this tier with the gold tier. It's so easy. This tier is a waste of everybody's time, to be honest. Maybe the next tier won't be, but that's for next time.